The thrilling challenge on this episode.
Challenge to paddle with the dolphins. I'm quite afraid to swim in an open water. Maalon, and I'm not wearing any life vest.
After her island circumnavigation, paddling misadventure in Caramon Islands. Our adventurous Fia Danka the Batwoman surprisingly shows up here, again, for another adventure challenge.
Hi, I'm Fia Danka the Batwoman.
We first met Fia Danka on our adventure in Tile Lake last month.
I met Pinay Adventuress, and I have learned that he's been traveling around the world. And his next stop is here in Tile Lake.
From then on, she keeps annoyingly tagging along on our travels and became our frequent guest in our succeeding episodes.
I love the stream sports, outdoor activities like paddling, kayaking, mountain climbing, so any extreme activities.
Nah, those are not even extreme sports. She's overselling herself. She's actually an introvert individual who recently just started being outdoorsy. She's not there yet.
They were all... Again, ayan mga gigs, I have to hold on to this boat kasi sobrang makikita niyo talaga, napaka-wavy.
But since she's a super fan of Geek Adventurer, she'll get there soon, as she amazingly always steps up on all adventure challenges.
I love to take the challenges. With the Pinoy Geek Adventurer, so fini-feature ko yung mga activities niya here.
In recent weeks, she's been practicing her paddling on different bodies of water in all corners of the Philippines. And today we will put her to the test and set up the next level for her challenge. Paddleboarding in the middle of the sea and hang out with the dolphins here in TAÑON Strait. And to overcome his thalassophobia, intense fear of deep water. Cause that's the fear that she's been trying to overcome ever since.
So I'm quite afraid to paddle ng medyo malayo kasi this is an open water again. And as you know, I'm not confident in swimming in the open water.
Hopefully, this time, she doesn't fall in the water and get drowned. That would suck for our TV ratings and to her paddling career. This will of course be documented as usual by our resident cosplayer geek adventurer.
Challenge for Pinoy Geek Adventurer to paddle with the...
I'm excited for her to experience hanging out with these wild water jumpers. As I remember, I had a blast when I paddled along with these creatures on my previous adventure in Panglao.
We are currently here in Bais, TAÑON Strait, here in NEGROS Oriental. And this is actually quite near sa Cebu. So over there is the Cebu, and then eto naman yung NEGROS Oriental.
Since you're not familiar, TAñON Strait is the body of water between Negros and Cebu Islands. A major route for big fish such as barracudas and whale sharks, and of course that includes dolphins. The area is rich in small fish such as tuna and sardines, which we know are the major diet of these larger predators.
And this TAÑON Strait here in Bais is actually one of the tourist spots. At
meron po tayo ditong snorkeling area, good corals po, makikita po yung lahat ng isda.
nandito ang tinatawag na sikat na malalim sandbar. This is also the popular dolphin watching site.
Bais dolphin watching na nakakaano talaga ng lahat, na nakakararami po.
Ayan, so basically I'm here in Bais and look for other extreme activity. And secondly, para ma-overcome ko yung challenge na binigay ni Pinay Adventuress to paddle with the dolphins.
Apparently, we always do additional activities, something that always caught the local tour guides by surprise.
Ngayon ko lang po to na-experience na may taong nagpapaddle with dolphins.
This would be additional task for them when handling guests.
Bihira na rin namin pinapayagan yung ganon kasi ngayon pinapayagan namin yung si ma'am, yung gusto nila nakapag-paddle sila with dolphins. Ayun.
We just want to make their life a little difficult.
Aside from paddling with the dolphins is to wear this Batwoman mask.
Well, as usual, cosplaying is a part of our challenge. Deal with it.
Actually, this is the continuation of the challenge I took from Pinay Adventures when I paddled with the dolphins in Alegria, sa Cebu.
Really? What a twist. It's a surprise to find out that she's been there, done that. We have to flash back on this alleged previous adventure of her in Alegria.
So I was actually coerced by my masked comrades to film them on their dolphin watching adventures. Surprisingly, I gave in to their request, but only if they accepted my challenge to paddle with the sea creatures.
Looks like our protagonist has been a very busy bee with her other heroine friends.
So, mao nami tulo ka superhero nga guest.
Naghuwat itawon sa Dolphin. Kauban akong duha ka superhero nga friend, si Sally Panther or Batwoman.
Apparently, dolphins don't just show up right away to entertain these masked women. So while waiting for them, our heroines decided to practice on their paddleboarding. Yes, they would need it later.
Paddle na lang sila sa ilang paddle boat.
Kay wa pa may dolphin na abot.
Very exciting guys ang paddle. First time ever sir. Na-enjoy jud nako pero pamaol jud. Nervous jud kaayo guys. Munang naglingkod na lang ko di ko mobarog kay mahadlok jud ko nga mahayang.
Mahadlok sila matumba kay lagi bago pa first timer pa. Kung makaya na ko ni ron sa pag-agpa sa dolphin. So, good luck.
It seems like our masked heroines are enjoying their time. Then after a while, our Batwoman started searching for dolphins, using her bat binocular. What a handy gadget. When she saw some pods from afar, she signaled the boat captain, and our band of dolphin watchers eventually sailed to their destination. As they reached the dolphin location, these brave heroines suddenly became a bunch of chickens as they backed out from paddling.
Except one. That adventuress is the only one who steps up. She excitedly disembarked into the water. So I just followed and filmed her as she paddleboards towards the pod of sea jumpers.
But these wild animals are still too far.
Nakita jud namo siya pero slight lang kay paspas jud kaayo siya.
And looks like our protagonist didn't practice enough because she moves like a snail and wasn't able to get closer as the dolphin swam away.
Yung superhero friend ko na si Batwoman, try niyang nilapitan, nag-follow siya dun palapit sa dolphin, kaya lang sobrang bilis ng dolphin, hindi niya maabutan.
Finally, our boatman decided to make himself useful, and he eventually able to steer it to get our enthusiastic paddler closer to the dolphins.
Masaktong position og asa dapit ang dolphin. Then og asa pud namo siya madrop si Batwoman.
Have at least good closer footages of her with these wild water jumpers.
Looks like our Batwoman had a great time on her first hangout with the dolphins. Let's now flash forward to our present time and find out if she can duplicate the same dolphin interactions in Bais. That would be a bummer if she can't.
Ayan, so basically I'm here in Bais para ma-overcome ko yung challenge na binigay ni Pinay Adventuress to paddle with the dolphins.
But apparently, she forgot her bat binocular today, so she just settles for calling the dolphins.
Wala namang dolphin.
Yeah, right, as if the dolphins would come, by just clapping.
She just have to find these creatures first, which is a challenge on its own. And unfortunately, my built-in search locator on my helmet head is not detecting any creatures at all. Bummer.
Then again, the captain just casually took the boat to the dolphin area in no time, showing these kids how it's done, without any help from gadgets or any AI locator. Unfortunately, there are other boats already on the area, and our heroine won't have a chance to paddleboard closer to these creatures, without video bombers in the background. Bummer.
They see a lot of boats roaming around, so dun sila nagkokumpulan. So we will not have ample time to paddle with them.
As I continue filming her, she just settled watching the wild animals from afar as she sits on the front of the boat.
So we are waiting for the other boats to leave the the area, so we can paddle with the dolphins privately.
Eventually, the other boats went away, and our adventuress is now super excited to get closer to the dolphins.
And I'm going to chase the dolphins over there.
But then, her enthusiasm is quickly replaced by sudden disappointment.
Ngayon naman I got on the open water, wala namang dolphins.
It seems like she's still moving like a snail.
I wasn't able to keep up with the dolphins kasi super bilis ng kanilang paglangoy. And it was really so hard for me to paddle. Then later, we're gonna try to paddle and swim with the dolphins.
Well, perhaps second time is a charm. Good luck with that.
She gets into the water again and finally able to paddle along with these creatures. All in all, she seems to have a blast today.
Looks like this is another successful adventure, but as usual, not everyone in the Philippines are used to have guests suddenly cosplaying, and doing their thingy.
Nalipay ko sa ilang tsura.
Para nako cool kay sila daw nga tanaw. Then sa
Tuwa ako kasi first time lang nakita sila na guest namin na nandito, mag-dolphin watching sila, tapos nakamas sila. Nagulat pa ako kasi kanina ko lang po nakita yung bad girl, saka yung Mandalorian. Ngayon ko lang po nakikita talaga, kakaiba po yung gimmick nila. Akala ko po kasi lumilipad yung bad girl, nagkakaya. Ay, ang saya ko po kasi first time ko pong makita na gano'n.
Was hi there, Pinay Adventures. So I'm alone here, far away from the boat. Ayan, so nandito ako at the middle of the open water. So alam nyo naman that I'm quite afraid to swim in an open water. Maalon, and I'm not wearing any life vest.
Black Panther, I'm expert in cooking.
Action. See, I was almost fell on the board. Laging ang dami kong epic fail.
My hobby is drinking. I love drinking.
Okay, so it was really an amazing experience to paddle with the dolphins. Ang bilis nilang maglangoy eh. So nahihirapan ako mag-paddle because of the current. Dahil hindi ko mahuli ang mga dolphins, so humuli na lang ako ng pusit. Ulamin ko to mamaya. Ayan, gumagalaw pa. Buhay pa yan.
My hobby is drink.
So, nagmamasigla yung mga dolphins. May tumatalon sa harap natin, may nagsuswim in synchronized swimming. Ano nga ba dolphin watching? Meron ding mga dolphins na yung tinatawag natin na spinning dolphins. Yan.
sige, take two.
Para kaming bata kanina na cheering up with the dolphin. Actually, kanina gusto ko na sanang mag-dive and swim with them, but it's not actually allowed sa mga tourists to swim with the dolphins.
Ay, ano? bukod sa paganoan sa
We are actually very honored na may experience yung paddling with the dolphins.
Our dolphin watching adventure.
And lumalakas na yung alon. So, wait, sandali. Ikaw mo na, take 4. And, yun nga.
It looks like everyone had a great time on this adventure challenge. And obviously, our adventuress has passed this challenge. Both of her paddle adventures in Alegria and Bais have a great dolphin interactions, and she was able to keep up with these wild animals for at least, well, maybe 10 seconds. Watch for our adventurous next challenge as she tries to survive, again, for another waterfalls chasing soon.